What's going on, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning in. It's me, Mikey Pipes. I want to make you guys aware of the new Florida Building Commission, um, some rules that apply to HVAC equipment in mobile homes. That's going to take effect today, December 31st. As a licensed state of Florida contractor, I receive emails on code updates periodically from the DBPR throughout the year. So I just want to share this with you because I got this email just the other day, and it's very important that my fellow air conditioning contractors in the great state of Florida make sure they're aware of this, right? Um, you may or may not know this, but on June 15th of 2023, the Florida Building Commission published an integrated draft onto the 8th edition of 2023 of the Florida Building Code, which became effective today. Um, if you aren't familiar with the 8th edition, there's a link in the description box down below, and you should, if you're a contractor, you should have a copy of the building code. Um, let's talk about what they are saying. All right, so let's jump into this email. Residential, section 50172, 8th edition 2023, under energy conservation, does not apply to either new construction or the upgrade of HVAC equipment except under circumstances. Per section R 101.4.2, Florida Building Code, 8th edition, again, energy conservation, only applies when the existing building is considered a renovated building, is undergoing a change in occupancy, or was a previously unconditioned building which comfort conditioning is added. The Florida Building Code, 8th edition 2023, defines, this is very important, defines a renovated building as a residential or non-residential building undergoing alteration that varies or changes the insulation, the HVAC systems, water heating systems, or exterior envelope conditions, provided that the estimated cost of renovation exceeds 30% of the assessed value of the structure. Now, keep in mind, we're talking about the assessed value of the structure. We're not talking about the last purchase price of the property, right? Because the property also has significant value. So if, a purchase price of a home, was $500,000, $500,000, it's not 30% of the value of the sale price or the property. It's only the value of the structure. Okay. So unless the total renovation cost exceeds 30% of the assessed value of the structure, section 501.7.2 does not apply to the new installation or upgrade of HVAC equipment. Okay, pretty simple. So 30% rule of the structure, quite simple. Let's talk about these two sections right here. R501.7.2, electric space heating. Okay, electric resistance shall not be the primary space heating system type used for complete central equipment replacements in climate zone 2. All right, so if you're relying exclusively on heat strips, no bueno. You're not going to be able to do that for the heating system type in climate zone 2. What that means is if we're putting in a heat pump system with electric backup, we're okay. But if there's no heat pump system, you're strictly relying on heat strips, no good. R101.4.2, exempt buildings. Buildings exempt from the provisions of Florida Building Code Energy Conservation include existing buildings except those considered renovated buildings, changes of occupancy type, or previously unconditioned buildings to which comfort conditioning is added. Exempt buildings include those specified in section R101.4.2.1 through R101.4.2.4. Okay? Renovated building. A building or residential building undergoing alteration that varies or changes insulation, HVAC systems, water heating systems, or exterior envelope conditions, provided the actual cost of the renovation exceeds 30% of the assessed value of the structure. Okay, we're going to touch on mobile homes. All right, some of you do work on mobile homes. Goes to say that per section 553.7310, Florida statutes, buildings and structures specifically regulated or preempted by the federal government are exempt from the regulations of the Florida Building Code. The Florida Building Code carries this exemption forward in sections R101.4.2.1 and 102.2. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, right? A federal government agency, promulgates and enforces construction equipment for mobile homes. Okay? Therefore, pursuant to exemptions found in the Florida statutes and the Florida Building Code, mobile homes are exempt from the requirements of the Florida Building Code, including the energy conservation requirement found in section R501.7.2. Okay, we're not done yet with mobile homes. The Florida statutes of 553.7310, the following building structures and facilities are exempt from the Florida Building Code as provided by law, and any further exemptions shall be determined by the legislature and provided by law. Buildings and structures specifically regulated and preempted by the federal government. Okay? Section R101.4.2.1, federal standards. Any building for which federal mandatory standards preempt energy state codes. Okay. 102.2, building. The provisions of the Florida Building Code shall apply to the construction, erection, alteration, modifications, repair, equipment, and use of occupancy, location, maintenance, removal, and demolition of every public and private building, structure or facility, or floating residential structure, houseboats, for example, or any appurtenance, APPURTENANCES. Good thing I'm not like an English teacher here. I'm just a plumber and HVAC contractor. Connecting or attached to such building structures or facilities. Additions, alterations, repairs, and changes of use or occupancy group in all buildings and structures shall comply with the provisions provided in the Florida Building Code existing buildings. Okay, guys, in case you're wondering, this is all this stuff here. You know what I'm talking about? I know you guys use it for the exam. The exams that you took to be a licensed contractor in the state of Florida, but it's good to stay on top of this. That's why I'm putting together this video. The following building structures and facilities are exempt from the Florida Building Code as provided by law, and any further exemptions shall be determined by legislature and provided by law. So those buildings and structures specifically regulated and preempted by the federal government. Guys, if you have any further questions on this, you can visit Florida's DBPR, Florida's Building Codes and Standards page. You can click down below, a link in the description box down below, or feel free to give them a call, the Customer Contact Center, at 850-487-1395. Special shout out to the great state of Florida and the Florida DBPR. Thank you so much for sending out these emails to us. We really appreciate it. It helps us do our jobs more efficiently and effectively. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, thumbs up, and let me get your thoughts and feedback on this update for 2024. Thank you so much. Be well. God bless. Stay safe.